Hey, what is up everyone? So in today's video we're going over the Season 17 Plunder Pass like we do every season, and in this video I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts on the new Plunder Pass for this season and give you an idea of whether or not I think it's a good buy or not. So this season's Plunder Pass is one of the more interesting ones to me, just because it's actually themed from Rare themselves. So to celebrate Rare's 40th anniversary, they decided to make the Plunder Pass set all Rare themed, and I actually think they did a really good job with it. So the Plunder Pass for this season is focused on the Rare Regalia set. So first at level 1 you're going to get this hull. I think this hull looks really nice. I think it can go well with a lot of different ship sets. I wouldn't say I would necessarily view this as being super premium, but like we talk about with other Plunder Pass videos, there's not much you can do with a hull, I would say, other than making it like glow or have like some kind of glowing effect to it. So in terms of comparing it to other Plunder Pass hulls, I would say it's pretty good, above average I would say. Moving on at level 5, you'll get your first round of ancient coins. If you complete the whole Plunder Pass, you'll have at the end 750 ancient coins, plus you'll get 250 ancient coins from the free pass, making for a total of 1,000 ancient coins. So you'll be able to get the Plunder Pass again for next season if you don't spend any of them. Next up at level 13 we have the capstan, and I really like this capstan. I love the little detail of having the Rare logo as like the centerpiece of the capstan in the middle. I really like this white and gold with a little bit of like a maroony purplish type of look going on with this set. I think all that looks really nice. I wouldn't say it's the best capstan we've ever gotten. We've definitely had way better capstans in the past, but if you're a big Rare fan, I think this will be a really nice one to have, and I think they did a good job with it. Next up at level 20, we have something a little bit interesting for this Plunder Pass, which is a new hat. So this hat is pretty simple in all honesty, but I think it's decent. It's basically looks kind of like a bandana wrapped around your head with these like flowery things. It kind of gives me like a Greek vibes to it. So it kind of would have been better for like the season 2 Plunder Pass that we had many years ago. But I think it looks pretty good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing in this pass, but it is fine to me. Moving on, at level 23 we have a flag. I never really care too much for the flags, but I think for this flag I would have honestly rather just seen them put the Rare logo on this. Having the diamond shape is just kind of like whatever to me. It's not bad or anything, but I feel like they could have done a little bit better. I think the Rare logo in that yellowish color instead of the diamond there would probably be a lot better looking and go better with the set. Next up at level 30 we have the wheel for this set. And I think this wheel is also really nice. Just like the capstan, it prominently shows off the Rare logo. I really like the kind of adornment of the gold feathering around it, making it look almost like a trophy for you. And I think just kind of like the marble white that's going on around it, I think it all looks really good. It all works really well for this set. I think if you do have that Season 2 set, or if you bought it in the Pirate Emporium, I think a lot of the Greek stuff would go well with this Rare set. Next up at level 40, we have another clothing item that I'm actually a lot more excited about than the hat, which is the jacket. I think this jacket looks really nice, very posh and professional. I don't really see it going well with that hat, which I think is kind of like the odd combination of the two. I feel like you need more of like a captain's hat to go with this. It feels a lot more like polished, whereas that other hat kind of looks like more of like a swabby type of clothing item. So that's just kind of my thoughts with the two clothing items here that we have so far. But in terms of the jacket itself, I really love this jacket. I think it looks really good. It will go well with a lot of different outfit combinations. So I'm really excited to use this one. Next up at level 50, we have the cannon. Now, I don't typically change out my cannon too often, but I think this cannon looks decent. I don't really think it's anything that amazing, but there is some nice details, like you have the Rare logo on the wheel there. You have kind of like the fabric that's laying across the whole thing. I think that looks really nice, and just like the little like ruby parts that are towards the end of the cannon. I think all of that looks really good. Next up at level 60, we have the figurehead, and this figurehead I think is fine. I wouldn't say it's too amazing, but it's just decent enough. I like the Rare logo here. I think it kind of goes well with the rest of the set. The only thing that I think would have been really cool for like a Rare themed figurehead, like if they were going to go with a whole Rare themed set, is potentially having like a figurehead that has like a bunch of different characters or stuff from Rare's past. So maybe you have like the Rare logo as the figurehead, and then out of the Rare logo you have like Conquer coming out of it, and Banjo-Kazooie, and like a bunch of different Rare IPs all kind of there coming out of the rare logo, almost kind of similar to the figurehead portal that we had, I think, back in season 14, where you had like the hands coming out of the door. Not necessarily saying make it look like ghostly themed, but make it just so that you have like something coming out of it, and maybe even make it animated. I don't think it needs to be animated for this, but I think just having kind of like some of the older IPs like Battletoads, Conquer, or Banjo Kazooie, having those characters like coming out of like a rare logo, or even just being on the figurehead in general, I think would have gone a long way to make this feel even more special. Next up at level 70, we have the sail. This sail, I think, is okay. I think if you're getting tired of having the rare logo plastered on every cosmetic item, this gives you a little bit of relief because it's not here at all. But it does just come off as very generic to me. I don't really see anything that I really cared too much about it. I think I would have, again, rather seen like a stenciled out version of the different rare IPs from the past. Not necessarily saying just like taking their JPEG from, their promotional art and like plopping it on like a white sail. I think doing something a little bit more artistic where it's like maybe like a stencil drawing, put them all in the same art style, maybe even in the Sea of Thieves art style or something like that. But I think maybe like a stenciled out version, kind of like if you were having like a cave drawing or something like that, and then having that be like a very well decorated sail would be a lot better as a rare sail in my opinion. But this one I think does probably go better with the set that they're making here. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. I just feel like if you're going to make a set celebrating the last 40 years of Rare, you should show off the last 40 years of Rare. Next up at level 80, we get another one that I'm really excited about in terms of clothing items, which is the gloves. Now these gloves aren't really gloves, they're more like just rings with the Rare logo and that kind of stuff on it, which are some of my favorite gloves. You've seen me wear these in the past where I don't really wear gloves on my characters, but I'll wear the ones that like just look like rings or bracelets and stuff. And I'm really excited about this glove. I think it's going to be really nice to wear, and I'm excited to actually use this one. Next up at level 90, this is another thing I'm pretty excited about because I don't remember if we've ever had a ship crest inside the Plunder Pass, but for level 90 we're getting a ship crest for this set, and this again looks really good. Looks very regal and very polished and everything. You have kind of like the nice rare logo with almost like a current banner, like almost like it's presenting something. So if you have this on like the galleon ship, it will be kind of nice because it looks like it's presenting the captain's quarters, which is kind of cool. You have like the little trophy looking feathers at the top of it that also look really nice and make it look more like a trophy. So they did a really good job with this ship crest, I think. And then finally, our level 100 spot, we have the collector's version of the sails, and this one does feature the rare logo, a little bit different looking than what we've seen in the other cosmetics so far. I think this sail is okay. I'm not in love with it. I think it's probably my least favorite on this whole set. I feel like the rare logo is very muddy looking in the middle of there where you have like the dark gold color, and it's just kind of mixing in too much with the purplish color that they're using for the rare logo there. So it makes it not really like a distinction for me. So it's very hard to kind of even notice the rare logo in there in the first place. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. I don't really like the white background for it with the gold here. I did like it on some of the other cosmetics that we have on this set, but with the white sails, it just kind of looks generic and quickly put together. So I just don't really like that as much. But in terms of the set as a whole, I actually am a pretty decent fan of it. I actually think they're doing a lot better with this Plunder Pass than they've had for a lot of the other Plunder Passes. And I don't know if you noticed this, but this is the first Plunder Pass in a long time where they didn't have a collector's version of the figurehead, and they actually added additional cosmetics to replace that. This is what I've been talking about for so long. Now maybe we'll get into the future and they'll release a collector's version of the figurehead, and then anyone that bought the Plunder Pass just doesn't get that, and it'll be something extra in the Pirate Emporium. Maybe they'll even take my idea for the figurehead and they'll charge extra money for it in there, and that will be kind of annoying. But I will say, in terms of the value you're getting with this Plunder Pass, I am a lot happier to have only one figurehead in this pass and then get the ship crest. Because think about it, the reason that we get the ship crest is probably because we didn't get a figurehead this time. With that said, we could have done without two sails. It's progress, but we still have a lot left to work on for the Plunder Pass. So I think if they got rid of the sail here, and maybe they gave us like pants to go with the jacket and stuff, because it's an interesting clothing set that we got here. I feel like the hat is just kind of underwhelming and okay, but the jacket is really good, and the gloves are really good. So maybe if we got some like pants to go with that in place of like one of the sails, that might have done better. I had talked about in previous videos where I would much rather be able to see like a weapon set could add it into the Plunder Pass. So maybe a whole weapon set is too much because we have so many weapons in the game right now. But even if it was just like one, like we got a rare themed blunderbuss or a rare themed sword, that would make me really happy. And if that took the place of one of the sales, that would make me even happier. Overall, you can tell that they did care a good amount about this set because it's Weird's 40th anniversary and that they did put some extra effort in it to not just do the same thing that they've always done with the like two different collector's versions of the figurehead and sales and all that stuff. I think they did a great job with clothing items. I am really excited that they added a ship crest in here because I feel like we need more ship crests in the game, and having them in the Plunder Pass just provides even more value to the Plunder Pass in general. I really love the gloves that we got. The sales are pretty underwhelming. I don't really like the sales for this. And the figurehead, I feel like they could have gone a bit better, but I'm okay with the figure that we got. I think it's passable and fine. I think the wheel and the capstan are some of the best pieces of the ship set on here. And overall, I think this is a pretty good value for your Plunder Pass for this season. The last several Plunder Passes have not been great in my opinion, but this Plunder Pass I think is actually worth the money this time. And especially if you save your ancient coins from this season, or if you've already saved them from the previous seasons, then you'll have enough for the next Plunder Pass. And that's basically what I've done, is I just use my ancient coins from the season pass and just use that to keep buying the Plunder Pass going forward. But with that said, that covers all my thoughts with this season's Plunder Pass. I'd love to hear in the comments below, what do you think about this Plunder Pass? Are you excited about it? Are you going to get it? And what is your favorite item in this Plunder Pass as well? And one additional question, I know that was a lot that I threw at you. Do you like not having a collector's version of the figurehead in here in place of having something additional like a ship crest? Personally, I think that's a great change, but some people might be upset about that. So I'd be interested to hear what y'all think. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, it'd be great if you liked and subscribed. And until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.